Hi, you guys. Okay, where we left off was, excuse me. Well, I feel like I keep gonna have more. I'm gonna probably burp throughout this whole thing. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, okay, where we left off was that I had just called the people, the Christians I knew 4 years before, and said, I'm a Christian now, and I want to know other Christians, and they prayed for me that I would know other Christians because we lived so far apart. And the next day, what happened was, I had started, another way my life had changed. I was more responsible now. And I had started to go to my business college regularly, whereas before I would show up hardly ever. And the lesson to that was what should have taken 1 year took me 2 years to accomplish. But anyway, so I started to go to my business college, and because I thought I have no skills, and my parents were encouraging me to get some sort of skills. Actually, the only skill I still have to this day from that whole experience was that, thank God, I can type. I can type fast. So that's the only thing that came out of that. But anyway, I did graduate, believe it or not, finally as an executive secretary. But that meant, it didn't do anything for me. Okay, so anyway, what happened was, I went to my school as usual. This is the day after my friends had prayed for me. And at my little school, it was a management class. An advertising class, I think. I forget. Anyway, but the professor stood up in front and said, asked us what radio stations we listened to. And after I had my experience, I really had lost. Another thing that happened to me was somehow I wasn't as interested in TV, but there was a Christian radio program that I used to listen to. So I put up my hand and I said, the Christian station. And guess what? The person behind me, right behind me, said that the Christian station too. So that was my first Christian that I got to meet. So I talked to him afterwards. He was a little older than I was. It turned out he was married and was expecting a baby or had a baby. And so he was from Ireland. He had been from Ireland, but his wife was from Reno. So I started to talk to him, and so he realized that I was a new Christian, and so he wanted to, was trying to get me involved, and they started to come into my life and take me to church. Well, anyway, the thing is that he and his wife were very involved. They had taken a time off from this to go to college in Reno, but they had been involved with a missionary program called Youth with a Mission. And for future reference, I'll tell you the nickname of it was YWAM, because Youth, YW with a M Mission. So it was the way to call it is YWAM. And as soon as, all right, I have to go back. Remember how I had my love affair with movies and stuff? My favorite movie of all time at that time of my life was The Sound of Music. Oh, I think I told you, I don't know if I did, that I used to, as a child, think that Julie Andrews was going to drive by and discover me as I sang out the window and my mom was driving. But anyway, my favorite movie was The Sound of Music, and 2 places I wanted to go in the world. One was England because of Julie Andrews, and the other was Austria because of The Sound of Music. And this guy and his wife had been missionaries in England. Oh, the other thing I want to say is, I want to backtrack a little bit. Way before, when I felt so lost and alone, my brother went to, he was in college, and he had the opportunity of having a semester at sea, and he went all around the world. And I was so jealous of him because I thought my life is just crap, and here he is going around the world. And so I had this secret desire. I didn't know how it would happen, but I thought, I want to see the world too. Well, guess what happened? Okay, so they were from this organization called Youth with a Mission, which is, it had young people all over the world. They had different bases all over the world. It had started in the 60s, and this was 1979. And they had bases all over the world where young people would just, when they were excited about how God had changed their life, they would go and they would have an opportunity to learn how to tell people about Jesus. Well, the other thing I've got to backtrack, during this time when I had 5 months, just me and God, and I was reading the Bible, every time I would read about Peter and Paul and the unity that they talked about, I thought, I don't have anybody to be unified with, you know, and I want to go around the world and tell because they would go around the world, you know, on these adventures and tell about what God had done for them. And that had become the biggest desire of my heart. So when they said that they were involved in this thing in England, the place of all places that I wanted to go, well, what happened was I got an interest. Well, I'm going to tell you next time how it all came about, because my life was big time about to change. But anyway, I love you guys, and dream big and go for it.